Hi friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So we will start our discussion on the sun line. This line is also known by various other names as well. The line of brilliance, line of art, line of reputation, line of recognition, line of potential. And in Hindu palmistry, this line has been known by various other names like Dharma Rekha, the line of religion, Punya Rekha, line of spiritual merit, the Vidya Rekha, Saraswati Rekha, the line of knowledge. So what all are the archetype traits associated with this line? This line tells about your capacity to attract name and fame in this life. This line tells about someone's artistic and creative talents. We have already discussed the major lines of the hand. So when it comes to checking the major lines of the hand, these lines tell about an individual's constitution. The heart line tells about your matters of the heart, your emotions, your feelings. The headline tells about your logics, your mentality. The lifeline tells about your physical health, your stamina, and the major events of your life. But when you want to check, so we have studied an individual's constitution, the physical constitution. But when it comes to checking his behavior in this material world, the outer world, so we need to check the condition of the line of Saturn, which tells about our the material prospects. This line also tells about the sense of purpose, the sense of goal which an individual carries within his life. Every morning when this guy is waking up, he has a goal to achieve. That all we get to know from the condition of the fate line, along with other significations like the condition of the job, the prospect of the business. So that all we have discussed in the past videos. But when it comes to checking the fruits of all the labors which we have discussed over here, we need to check the condition of the sun line. So this is the kind of the magnitude of the significance which this line carries, and this line is always seen in correlation with the fate line. This is the only line which has the capacity to overcome the gap or the affliction caused anywhere on the line of the Saturn. When it comes to checking things in combination, like the way I have already explained this thing, that this index finger tells about your ambition. But whether you have the proper will and determination and potential to fulfill that ambition, you need to check the condition of the thumb as well. Same ways, the mount of the Venus, this is your mount of Venus, which tells about your sexual drive. But in order to fulfill that drive, whether you have the physical constitution and stamina, we need to check the condition of the lifeline. Same ways, fate line is checked in combination with the sun line. Fate line tells about your efforts and sun line tells about the result of those efforts. So this is the kind of significance which this sun line carries. This line is very important for all those people who want to remain in the public domain, who want to get the recognition and name and fame. So I'm not saying this thing that the absence of this line means that person can't progress in any of the artistic or creative business or any of the public sphere or public domain occupation. It's just like that, if you'll have this sun line, this will give an additional kick to an individual's prospects. Now coming to judging this sun line with three major worlds working on the palm as well. Why? What makes me say that? Because what has been seen is that many times what palmists do is that just by looking at the presence of the sun line, they just go on to an extent of saying that this person should kind of embrace some kind of artistic hobby, some kind of artistic occupation, which is not completely true. When it comes to checking the condition of the sun line, we also need to check the three dominant worlds as well. So what do I mean by three dominant worlds? So our palm can be divided in by two ways in three worlds. So first way is when we just divide and check the condition of the fingers and and divide them in three worlds. First remains to be the mental world, second remains to be the practical world, and third remains to be the physical world. The mental world tells about your intellectual pursuits. The practical world tells about your business pursuits, your money making abilities. The physical world tells about your physical indulgences, your sensory indulgences. So how can we divide these fingers? So you need to understand that the fingers, the general ratio of the standard ratio of the fingers, these phalanges of the fingers is that if we'll find the first phalange, so like the way our finger has been divided into three phalanges. This is our first phalange, this is our first phalange, this is our second phalange, and this is our third phalange, and they have been divided by these two knots present on the fingers. This first world, the standard length of the first flange is 20% of the length of the complete finger. The standard length of the second flange is 35% of the length of the complete finger. Same ways, the standard length of the third flange is 45% of the length of the complete finger. Any point of time you will find any variation. So let's say you will find the first flange to be longer than the 20% of the length of the complete fingers. So what do I mean by that? Let's say for example the length of the middle finger is 10 centimeter, and you will find the length of the first flange, if you will measure it, to be more than 2 centimeters. So then in that case you can say that the first flange is longer in that particular finger. This is how analysis is done. So this is the first flange represents our mental world, practical world and the physical world. So what makes me say that? Just because if a person has good sun line, you also need to check the condition of the three worlds as well. So let's say if along with the presence of a good sun line, the person also has got good first flanges, good mental world. So we can say that this person is born to become very good artist and he will do very good in any of the artistic pursuits. Though with that said, you also need to check the condition of the headline. You also need to check the condition of the overall condition of the palm, whether the palm skin is flabby, whether the texture of the skin is soft, or so what all are the other basic modifiers. Because if all other signs would remain to be positive along with the good first world, which is the mental world, with the presence of a good sunline, this would just give a strong boost and strong motivation and strong drive for this person to become a very good artist. And let's say if you'll find along with the presence of a good sunline, you will also find a longer second flange, the prominent practical world dominant in someone's palm, then you can say that this person will not only become a very good artist, but he will also make very good money out of all of his artistic work. And third is, let's say if you have found the third world, which is the physical world, to be very prominent with a good sunline, and let's say when the amount of the Venus is very prominent, so then you can look at it from that perspective, that this person would remain to be very charismatic, this person would remain to be have very good sex appeal. And if the signs of affliction are there present on the palm, then that might be the case that the person would become to be more ostentatious or more showy rather than by himself developing some good artistic work. So this is how analysis is done. This line is very prominent, and like the way we know that the science of palmistry is based on the science that all these lines are subjected to change by the mental kind of mental environment we are going through, kind of lifestyle and attitude changes we are going through. So I have even seen this thing, this line in the hands of all those people who have sudden rise to the prominence and suddenly have got the fame, and during that point of time the line has gained prominence, the line has got accentuated in their palms. So this is the kind of significance which this line carries. This line also tells about personal magnetism, the kind of capacity which an individual has to attract well-wishers, good friend into his life. In any case, this line is associated with the planet sun, the Apollo, and the Apollonians remain to be very good in terms of making friends, in the terms of making good money, in order to gain good reputation. Just because these people are very extrovert, the Apollonians are like very charismatic, they are like very go-getters. So these all traits of their personality just help them in forging ahead in the life. And like the way I've explained you people, when it comes to dividing the palm in three worlds, so there are two ways. One way is we divide the fingers in three worlds. Second way is when we divide the whole hand in three worlds. So the portion till the fingers is known as this is our first world, which is the mental world, this is our practical world, and this is our physical world. So when it comes to three worlds, they can be divided in two ways. First way is the flanges, the fingers, and second is whole hand gets divided. And when I say that, it is very when you become accustomed to in the knowledge of palmistry or doing practical analysis in people's hand, just by looking at someone's hand you will get to know, okay, this person's finger is exceptionally longer, and even the first phalange is longer. So both ways it is being confirmed that this person has got accentuated and very prominent mental world. And along with that, if you'll also check the condition of the headline and the condition of the thumb, so those those kind of indications will get confirmed. So this is how analysis is done. Sun line is very prominent, is very important for all those people who want to pursue and take interest in any of the artistic and creative realms. And I am not restricting this line to only artistic pursuits only, because this line just tells about perfection. So whichsoever chosen field an individual would work, he would remain to be good in that. So let's say a businessman, if a businessman who would have a good sun line, so he'll be a very good businessman. Not only he will be able to make good money, expand his business, but also he would enjoy healthy, hearty relationship with all his business partners. Same is the case with an accountant or any so ever field an individual is working. So this is all signification of the sun line. I hope I made myself very clear in this introductory video on sun line. For further more updates and notification on palmistry, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Thanks.